I worked for British Airways back in the mid to late 90s, and they introduced the first self-service check-in at Heathrow in Terminal 4. Now, when they first introduced that, I had to physically manhandle people over to go and use the self-service check-in because they were terrified of it. This was an important journey, whether it was a holiday or a business trip. It was too important to be left to technology at that point. Fast forward 20 years, and you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who wants to see a human being and interact with a human being whilst they go through the airport. They want to be able to check in online at home, download the app and have the boarding pass on their phone, and to be able to go through the airport without having to see another human being if they possibly can.
Very true. In the industry, we call it friction. Is that bad?
Right.
And it's because time is becoming so important in our lives that we've lost that ability to have time to talk to other people, and it becomes a point of friction. If you have to talk to a bus driver and kind of discuss the route that you're going and then pay with cash and whatever, it's a disruption. Now, even if you have the time, you're there, people are waiting, you can sense that they are waiting. If instead of that, you come there, you tap with your contactless, and then you tap out when you leave the bus, and the back office kind of calculates the fare for you, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I must admit, I know what you mean, because even things like when you're at the checkout and you can see someone is packing their bags, but they've not got their card ready to pay, you think, come on, this is 10 seconds you're cutting into our day. It's absolutely crazy
10 seconds per passenger is a lot of time to waste, Dave, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, it's a really good point. I mean, within the transport industry, do you think there is more the sector could be doing to use digital technology more effectively?
Absolutely. I mean, we've done a lot already. We've got e-commerce like the train line, or B2B e-commerce like contract retail. We've got mobile applications that can provide, real-time information. There's information about stops and stations. And for instance, if you download the Gatwick Express app, which is one of those that my team developed, it takes you from pretty much your home all the way to the gate of your plane. Like the app will be telling you the status of the trains and the status of the airport, and where it got integrated with Gatwick Airport, and it tells you which is the gate of your plane. So a lot has been done. Contactless, for instance, is now becoming the standard. So it was only TfL up until 4 years ago. Now it's everywhere, and even pay as you go. When I was in Go Ahead, we were the first ones to do pay as you go contactless in buses because it's quite complicated, and it's brilliant. It's not working in very many places, and you're seeing less and less cash in motion. What needs to be done though is integration. And we need to differentiate. We call it, islands and bridges. And the way to picture it is, imagine two cities, the islands, and then there's typically a train or a coach connecting the two cities, which would be a bridge. Now, the type of digital solution that you need for those two trips is completely different. In cities, we have a huge intensity of services, diversity, trams, buses, even now scooters and stuff like that. We want simple fares, simple tariffs. We kind of don't care too much about money in terms of if the fare is $350 instead of $280 is all right. We want fast onboarding, fast lighting. So in this environment, we need to make sure that everything is very, very simple and probably contactless kind of based, like TfL has proven with the underground buses. If you move on to the bridges, then it's a completely different experience. It goes back, Dave, to your point about the airplane, which is you've got time. You're going to be moving from London to Newcastle. You've got time to plan your trip. You've got time to the high value tickets as well. And as you said earlier, it's an important trip. And you've got the possibility to print a ticket in your own home. You may have multiple legs. And in this case, probably mobile apps and QR codes, like the planes have, like the airplane industry have implemented, is probably the right solution, a lot better than contactless. So I think we need to tailor it a little bit more, and we need to integrate it a little bit more, and provide expert, real time information about things. A great example, actually, of because the other thing that we still need to do a lot of in the public transport industry is implement Internet of Things, and the opportunities are phenomenal. And I've got a brilliant example. One of my colleagues is the CIO in one of the two train operators in Switzerland, and what they have implemented, what they have with implementing, is incredibly clever. So they've put cameras with image recognition in the trains on the lower part of the train, and they're constantly scanning the track for fractures and problems, and then reporting it if there's a problem identified. But even more clever, they've put the same thing on the tracks to identify problems with the brakes on the trains. I mean, how clever is that?
It's fascinating.
And that's the type of thing that I think we need to do more of. We need to improve the routing. We need to improve we need to probably tailor more the timetables to, there's no point in running the same service in the night, in the evening, in the morning. It may well be that you need a smaller vehicles in the night, or you need to do more based on an app, like demand response transport instead of a regular service. And it just needs a little bit of adaptation in that respect.
You mentioned the Internet of Things there, Enrique. Now, clearly, I'm completely au fait with the Internet of Things. But what's the difference between the Internet of Things and the Internet? Surely the Internet is the Internet of Things.
Well, yes, conceptually you're right. However, the industry uses the term Internet of Things when things are talking to things as opposed to humans. So it's when two machines are talking to each other basically through the internet. So an example would be a good example. I've implemented one of these recently, is where when ticketing machines stop working, they send an alert to the service delivery system that logs a call and triggers an alert to an engineer to go and fix it. So you've eliminated the need for the client to say, look, this thing is not working, it's not printing tickets. The machines have talked to each other to tell the engineer that there's a problem with the machine.
Fantastic. That is a brilliant analogy.
That's a good example as well of sort of problem to an existing solution as opposed to a solution looking for a problem, I think, Enrique.
Exactly. I mean, I've written a really comprehensive, I'm sorry for doing a little bit of advert here, but I've written a very comprehensive white paper with all these topics, which I'll be publishing in the next 2 weeks on LinkedIn. I will send you a copy.
Please
Available in all good stockists?
Not quite yet. Not quite.
I can't believe you're using our podcast to plug your own material, Enrique.
Sorry.
Hello everyone, I'm James Rowson.
And I'm Dave Kemble, and this is the Practicus
Digital Transformation Podcast.